The one time that I've been in a courtroom, I was supporting my cousin in his custody case for his son, and I had to speak on his behalf, and I was super nervous. And then you walk in, and here sitting across from you is this person that just wants to manipulate your answers in every way. And I was just like, the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, like, he is really trying to get me to fuck up right now and say some
Yeah.
stupid shit. And I was
It's,
just
it's like
like,
going to a fight with like a trained assassin.
okay, well, welcome. Welcome to the podcast, Money, Music, and Marketing. I'm Brandon Lewis, and I appreciate you coming on, NEAMA. Thank you. Welcome.
Brandon, thanks so much for having me, man. Really excited to be on.
Absolutely awesome. And so you are, I'm just going to ask you, you founded West Coast Trial Lawyers?
I did, I wasn't planning to do this. I was going to be
Yeah.
a judge. I was a prosecutor
Yeah.
for many years. And then my partner, Alan, is the one who convinced me to become a little bit of an entrepreneur about
Okay.
8-9 years ago to start a firm. So I kind
Thank
of
you,
got to give
Alan.
credit to him. And we've, it's been a great run so far.
Very cool. So did you guys team up right away from the get-go? Were you guys partners right from the beginning?
Yeah, it was interesting. He actually recruited me out of law school a long time ago, back in 2000, 2001. So he was a young attorney at this firm called O'Melveny and Myers, largest law firm in LA, 1,000
Wow.
lawyers, huge firm.
Wow.
So he recruited me as a young attorney. I was a law student at Harvard Law. And then, we worked together for a few years. He left, he started his own firm. So he had some experience starting and running a business. He had a
Right.
partner. Him and his partner split up in 2013. That's when he approached me to start West Coast, and
Cool.
it's been history ever since.
Yeah, awesome. And so were you already in LA at the time?
Yeah, I was in LA. I practiced in Orange County, San Diego, so I've been all throughout. I've worked all throughout Southern California, but
Yeah.
as far as legal markets, LA is the big show. So this
Right.
is where
Yeah.
we wanted to be.
The big show, no matter what. I'm in San Diego. I'm born and raised San Diego.
Oh, nice. I was a federal prosecutor in San Diego for years at the U.S.
Oh,
Attorney's
wow.
Office.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I did drug cartel
Awesome.
and human trafficking prosecutions there. Where in San Diego are you?
Right now I'm in Kensington. Are you where It's like right next to
Okay.
North Park, close to North Park.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was in
but
downtown for a while.
yeah, I live downtown
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, I lived all over for
Nice.
sure.
I was at the Electra off of like Front and E in the Marina
Oh,
for a while.
yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a nice building. That's what's
It's a
up.
while ago.
Yeah. Awesome. So West Coast Trial Lawyers. I came across you guys. Your guys' content is so cool. So I want to give you guys props to that. You're really staying current and fresh with it. Whose idea was it to get to stay hip on the trend in social media?
We try. So, when we started, and I'm friends with all the billboard guys, TV,
Yeah.
radio, so when we got into this, I'm like, look, how am I going to compete with these people? They've got a 20, 30-year head start on this. So we decided to go in a completely different direction, digital and social.
Yeah.
It was newer back then. So any digital platform, we're going to do it. I don't care if it's LinkedIn, TikToks, anything in between, Google, Yelp, Bing, whatever. I mean, we're
Right.
going to do it. So we kind of went in head first, and it could be a podcast like yours. It could be Clubhouse, whatever's going to be new and fresh. That's what we're going to be all about. Now, the difference is everyone loves money, everyone loves marketing, but not everyone loves the law. It's not sexy. It's
Right.
not interesting, right?
Right.
So, I end up doing a lot of, criminal videos or celebrity videos or politics, right?
Yes.
If it's Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, everyone's all about it. But if
Yeah.
it's like being catastrophically injured or killed, people aren't. So we try to create videos that we think are going to have interest, and
Yes.
a broader audience might watch. So we'll kind of do some niche stuff, but
Yeah.
we try to keep it, fresh. We try to keep it quick. We try to keep it snappy and interesting because you know how it is when people are scrolling, they got like a 2 to 3 second attention span. And if you
Gotta
you don't
hook 'em.
catch their attention, they're just going to swipe and scroll.
Absolutely. I think you guys have cracked that code for sure. I think you're definitely a scroll stopper.
thanks,
So
man. Yeah, well-
props to that for sure. Awesome. So
I
do you
gotta give
guys
credit to
go
my
ahead.
team. We have about 15 people. Yeah. And here we got video, we got social. They're the ones that make the magic happen. They just call
Yeah.
me. We got a studio built, and I'm actually sitting here right now. They said, NEAMA, we're going to shoot these 2-3 videos today. These are the topics. These are what people care about. So they just tell me, what either the script is, or if I'm going to go off script, the general topic, and they kind of
Mm-hmm.
steer me. And they were sort of the creative masterminds behind what we do.
Yeah. I love that. So they're in the room, they're doing the research, they're figuring out like what's gonna hit, and they present it to you, and then you work your on-screen magic.
Yeah, that's it, man. They're
Yeah.
much cooler than me. They're on social media. Also, got give credit to,
Yeah.
Noah, our videographer. He shoots, he edits. He has
Mm-hmm.
someone that helps him do editing too. But I mean,
Yeah.
this is like more than a full time job. We got multiple people.
Oh man.
People think that like, yeah, I just show up and I know everything, and it's really not. They're the creative geniuses behind all of our content.
Yes. It's all about the team, that's for sure. That's awesome. So do you guys actually cover as far as the types of cases that you handle? Do you actually cover like these celebrity type cases as well and other criminal type cases?
Yeah, well, we represent some celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
We go after a lot of celebrities. I mean, what we
Mm.
do, we represent people. Something bad has happened to them, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
someone's
Yeah.
been shot, someone's been injured, someone's died, someone's been sexually
Mm-hmm.
harassed, wrongfully terminated. So, oftentimes, we're representing the little guy or the little girl,
Mm-hmm.
but occasionally we'll represent celebrities when something bad has happened.
Yeah.
So it really kind of depends. We only represent victims. We only do plaintiffs' work. We only
Mm-hmm.
represent people on contingency, which means we're not billing hourly. We're not taking retainers. We're just getting a percentage. So it's got to be kind of a special type of case for us to take it. For everyone that calls, we usually in any kind of given year or month, we accept anywhere from 5 to 10% of the callers as cases. So
Huh.
there's a lot of things we just can't take because of the nature of what we do.
Right.
But we do want to kind of make law understandable and accessible to
Yeah.
everyone. That's sort of our business model, right? Doesn't
Right.
matter if you don't have money, you can't afford the biggest and the best lawyers. We'll represent you if you have a righteous case. So
Mm.
we want to kind of break down those barriers, make people understand the law, make people not afraid to pick up the phone and talk to a lawyer. Because I can
Yeah.
tell you that most people, look, I'm a lawyer, my friends are lawyers, I'm married to lawyers. No one likes
Mm-hmm.
lawyers. I don't
Right.
even like them. So there's kind of that hesitation. So, whether it's
Yeah.
like you're just seeing us, like I said, on a YouTube short or Instagram reel or TikTok, they're like, okay, this guy's a normal
Yeah.
guy. I got a
Absolutely.
question. Let me just call. Maybe you can help me
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, what you said is so incredibly true. I mean, everybody has their preconceived notions about everything in life. And, you take a prestigious position like a lawyer, and then there's been so many stereotypes through movies and I guess bad experiences over time. And so we all have this preconceived notion. And then that's, I think, such a huge part about social media is now we have this opportunity, like you said, to break down these barriers and let people in and be vulnerable. And it's like, I think a lot of businesses have this thing where they think, oh, I don't want to give all this information away. I don't want to tell everybody everything and all my secrets and the tricks to the trade and all that stuff. And what they don't realize is that it's the opposite is true. It's like the more you give, the more information, the more you're teaching and educating these people out in the world, the more they're going to trust you, and the more likelihood they're going to want to work with you and they're going to want to hire you. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely, Brandon.
Yeah.
Everyone says content is king, but when
Yeah.
people have a question, right? First thing they're gonna Google. They're gonna go on,
Right.
if they're old, they might go on Facebook or they're gonna tweet or whatever. So they want to know that hey, this guy, this girl knows what he's talking about, right?
Yeah.
People want a little bit of a preview, especially look. I'm not selling a product here, right? No
Mhm.
one's calling me to like buy an iPhone or like a
Right.
MacBook, right? They want a service, and
Yeah.
when you're getting a service, it can be plastic surgery, it can be cervical spine surgery, back, so whatever
Mhm.
it is. I mean, you want to know that the person that you're hiring is knowledgeable, is experienced, knows
Mhm.
what he or she is doing because the
Mhm.
results matter, right? So they're going to do some
Absolutely.
research. I don't care who it is. If you meet someone on Tinder, you're going to Google them, right? Before you go on that date. And you're certainly going to do the same thing before you
Yeah.
hire a lawyer, right? So
Yeah.
you want to make sure that, listen, if I call this lawyer, he is going to be potentially the person that I hired to represent me during one of the worst times of my life,
Your
right? No one's
life,
calling me
yeah.
with the good news. Something bad's happened. So,
Mhm.
whether it's videos on your site, any social media platform, YouTube, whatever, you got to put that out there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you might as well just not do any marketing on
Right.
traditional or digital media.
Right, for sure. Yeah, and likability at the same time. I feel like, especially when you're comparing, because I feel like in this field, not I feel like in this field, there's just so many options. You have you have tons of different law firms that are doing the same type of thing, and a lot of them say the same stuff. Oh, they've done $100 million in this, and all these different settlements that they've reached. But it's like, okay, but why do I want to work with this specific person? And if I'm going to be comfortable being with you, and I feel like you're going to actually care about me, and you're not just trying to get my money, that for me personally would be like the determining factor.
Of course,
Yeah.
half the billboards you see are personal injury lawyers, right? There's
Right.
that stereotype. These guys are ambulance chasers. They're hustlers. They're scammers. They just want my money. They just want to take advantage of me,
Hmm.
So, um, the interaction that you're gonna have. Look, for instance, we do TikTok lives every week,
Yep.
Instagram lives every week. I'm like, look, ask me anything. Yesterday we
Hmm.
did one on, Harvey Weinstein. The verdict that came out. I did. Uh, Us Weekly has a weekly legal show, celebrity news. But then I was also on ABC News talking about
I was going to ask
Trump
about
and the
that.
January 6th committee and all that. So like, I'll do serious stuff. People have serious questions. I'll answer their legal questions. Maybe people don't understand how does the committee work. There's a special counsel that's appointed by the Department of Justice. I'll
Hmm.
explain all that. Or some of them might care about like the Prince and Meghan Markle,
Right.
or some criminal case or a murder or civil rights. So whatever it is, I make myself available to kind of answer any legal questions people have because people don't understand, right? For me,
Right.
obviously, I've tried a lot of cases. I've been doing this 20 years. I do
Yeah.
live trial commentary almost every day. For me, it's second nature. But the way I kind of describe it is, imagine, your sister or your girlfriend or your wife, like she's never watched football anymore. You turn on the football game, you're
Right.
watching whatever, the
No clue what's
Rams or
going on.
Chargers or whatever. Like they don't know what's going on,
Right.
and they're not going to like it unless someone actually sits down and explains, hey, this is what's happening here. This is what the
Right.
lawyer's trying to do. This is what the judge is saying. This is what the jury ruled the way they did. So just that sort of explanation helps make law more understandable and accessible to
Hmm.
everyone.
Absolutely. Um, do you mind talking about briefly that January 6th committee thing? So in that particular situation, are these news stations like reaching out to you as essentially as a consultant to like be able to give a professional take on it, or how does that work?
Yeah, so they want a legal analyst that's going to sit down and break down what's happening, right?
Uh-huh.
So some of it's political, some of it's legal. So, on January 3rd, the Republicans are going to take over the House. They're going to dismantle this committee. But the Democrats currently have a special
The
committee
majority.
that's
Uh-huh.
investigating the Capitol riots, and they're making referrals to the Department of Justice. So it's ultimately up to the Department of Justice to decide whether to act on these referrals. Just a recommendation, it's not binding, but
Right.
again, it's coming from Congress. So what the Attorney General has done, the Attorney General has appointed a special counsel to investigate Trump and some of the individuals who may have been involved with the Capitol riots and whether they should be
Hmm.
held responsible. And there's a few different potential crimes that they're talking about.
Right.
And this all surrounds Stop the Steal, right? So
Right.
what
Yeah.
Trump knew before the, and that's crazy. We'll get into politics a little, but
Yeah.
you have people who are testifying that um, before Congress and potentially even before the grand jury that no matter what happened in November 2020, Trump had decided to say he was the winner, right?
Right.
So then you kind of have this potential conspiracy to defraud the United States. So, and the question is like, what did he knew? Well, what did Trump know?
Right.
When did he know it? And you can kind of base that on what he told people and what people told him. That's how you get inside someone's head. And the reason
Yeah.
I'm talking about all this, whenever you have a potential crime, you need to prove knowledge and
Mm.
intent. So
Hmm.
that's what these witnesses are trying to do. And the
Got
second
you.
part of all this is even if Trump said or did something, is there that causal connection or that legal connection? We call it proximate. Trump may have said stop the steal, but can he be held responsible for the
Right.
violence that happened at the Capitol building? Right?
Right.
He could have said fight like hell, but legally, is that enough to hold the former president responsible for the violence that occurred? So these are kind
Right.
of the legal questions and the factual issues that we're working through. So, if ABC calls me or Newsweek or whatever, I kind of break that down and say the reason they're talking to the witnesses about X, Y, and Z is they're trying to show Trump's knowledge. The
Right.
reason
Right.
they're
Right.
asking them about ABC, they're trying to show his intent. And these are the
Yeah.
kind of all the stepping stones you need if you're going to actually potentially prosecute someone or not.
So from the outside looking in, just really quick, do you think they got a good case?
I think they have a good case, but I don't think they're going to indict Trump
Yeah.
because 2 years have passed and it's
Yep.
going to be a very politically charged prosecution. You're potentially opening up Pandora. Again, this is my prediction. It's tough
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
say what Jack Smith's going to do, and there's really only a small group of very high level officials of the Department of Justice that know what's going to happen. But as
Hmm.
more time passes, that tends to be good for defendant in
Any
any criminal
in any case,
investigation. And now we're
right?
talking about 2 years since the
Yeah.
riot. So if you put a gun to my head, I don't think he's going to be charged. But you never know. You never
You
know when it
never
comes to
know.
prosecutors.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Cool, cool. So so right now you guys are doing the amazing social media, all right? And then do you what other marketing tactics do you guys use right now? Like other platforms or
Yeah,
other things?
yeah. So we do everything, right? So social media, like I said, all the serious stuff on LinkedIn, older
Right.
audience, Facebook, kind of
Mhm.
our age, Instagram, younger people, TikTok. But I mean, we do it all, and it just
Mhm.
obviously TikTok's gonna be shorter. YouTube will do some longer form content. So we have people that are interested in older cases, cold cases, serial killers. We got our own podcast called LA
Right.
Legal. We're coming up on season 3, so I'll talk
Yep.
about like these are kind of big cases that happened years ago. It could be like Michael Jackson, could be OJ. We'll kind of go back and analyze it. And this is coming back. This is hot right now because serial killers, right? People are talking
Yeah.
about Dahmer, and we'll go through
All
all the
the
different kind
Netflix
of serial
stuff.
killers, and we'll talk, all the Netflix stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
this is people love these cases, right?
Yeah.
So, if I have more time, I'll spend, a half hour breaking down like an older trial.
Mhm.
If that's like, if I got 30 minutes, if I got 30 seconds, then, I might talking about like, for instance, Gunna just pled guilty in Atlanta.
Right.
What does that mean for YSL? Did he snitch on the gang? Um, I'll try to break it down as quickly as I can in like 3 or 4 sentences so people
Uh-huh.
understand like what does it mean? Like he pled as an Alfred plea. What the hell does that mean? Did he really
Yeah.
snitch? Did he not? Is he cooperating? Just kind of answer just the really kind of high level questions that people have if it's a celebrity case or like,
Mhm.
Megan Thee Stallion trials happening right now, or we
Right.
talked about Weinstein. Danny Masterson was just charged with rape. The jury hung. What does that mean? Is he going to be retried? What does that
Yeah.
have to do with Scientology? So like, any kind of question that people have,
Uh-huh.
when it comes to like a legal case, I try to break it down. If it's
Right.
breaking news, we got to get the content out that same day. If it's
Mhm.
older, obviously, we got time. No one's like urgently messaging
Right,
us
right, right,
to,
right.
tell me what happened with, Casey Anthony or the Selena murder, right? We got
Right.
time. Maybe we can spend, days or even a week to record something like that.
Got you. And so are you finding that this is talking about these celebrity cases or what I guess my question would be, what's your most common type of case that you guys actually take on?
Sure. The most common type of case will be, on the personal injury side, the most common way someone's going to get injured is a car
Mhm.
accident, right?
Right.
So we get a lot of car accidents.
Uh-huh.
On the employment side, we'll get sexual harassment, we'll get wrongful termination, we'll get different types of discrimination,
Uh-huh.
wage and hour, people aren't paid. So basically, I put that in the asshole boss or creeper boss category.
Yeah.
So those tend to be the bread and butter, but
Yeah.
that might not be the most interesting. I don't think anyone's following us to
For sure.
you know yeah. Well, what happens if um yeah, so your boss isn't giving you a paycheck or paying your
Right.
overtime? Everyone knows that's unlawful, right?
Right.
We might do some videos on that. Like, what if your boss is a creeper sending you dick pics or whatever? We might do something like that. But,
Right.
what we try to do is just keep it kind of fresh, keep it
Yeah, for sure.
interesting, and whatever kind of legal case is trending, we'll talk about it. I mean,
Yeah.
Trump's been great just for lawyers because I mean, there's always some legal issue involving Trump, right? And
Yeah.
it's so polarizing, right? You got half the country that absolutely loves him, another half that hates him. So
Mhm.
that tends to be just a good case because you got kind of these interesting novel legal issues that we can talk about, or like a big celebrity case. Obviously the biggest one recently was Johnny Depp Amber Heard. I mean,
Right.
everyone was watching that trial, right? So something like that, we'll do like kind of daily trial summaries in a case like
Right.
that.
That one's there's new stuff on that one too, right?
Yeah, I mean, they just settled this week.
This week, right?
Depp had a $10.3 million judgment against his ex-wife. and he decided to walk away for just $1 million settlement, which he's going to
Right.
donate to charity. So we spent some time breaking down that settlement as well.
Got you. He's like, don't worry about it, honey. I'll just charge you $1 million.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna go do
Yeah, I
Pirates
think
of the
this wants to
Caribbean
just, yeah,
12.
exactly. That's just walking around money for Johnny Depp. And look, I mean, the guy really cleared his name. He went
Yeah.
from being canceled to probably the most wanted actor in Hollywood. So
Right.
completely resurrected his acting career. Amber Heard, on the other hand, is probably one of the most disliked women in America. I mean, she had a very poor showing at trial.
Yeah.
So I think
Whoever
Depp
her
just wanted to kind of put the trial behind him and kind of move forward with his career.
Yeah, whoever her media coach was didn't do a very good job.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so
her
do you
lawyers
guys
and her PR team did a poor job.
Yeah, yeah. Do you guys have different so like do you have how many attorneys do you have in your firm?
Yeah, we have 25 lawyers and we have about
Okay.
100 staff.
Got it.
So, yeah, we got a pretty large team. So, I mean, I do a lot of the sort of breaking, especially the criminal stuff, because I've represented a lot of celebrities. I was a prosecutor for years, as I mentioned, in
Mhm.
LA and San Diego. So, I understand the criminal cases as well. But, we have other lawyers that participate in social media. For instance, we do a lot of Spanish social media, right? Spanish news. I mean, I don't speak Spanish, certainly not that well. I mean, I understand it, but not enough to go on like Telemundo or
Right.
Univision. So that's going to be our Spanish speaking lawyers that handle that. Or sometimes they
Mhm.
want like a very sort of niche analysis of some employment issue or some personal injury issue. If you're going to kind of get really in the legal weeds, maybe I have one of the lawyers that really specializes in that area of the law handle it.
Got
So
you.
I do
Yeah.
a lot of the press because I'm kind of the face of the firm and sort of the experience, but the other lawyers
Mhm.
do social media and traditional as well.
Oh, do they? Okay, cool. And then depending on the type of case, you'll assign the lawyer that has the more of the expertise in that particular area.
Yeah, exactly. Let's
Yeah.
say, the Daily Journal, which is like our legal publication, really wants to kind of talk about some consumer class action issue. We might have a lawyer talk about that, or some very specific wage and hour issue, with really kind of like an expert on one particular type of case. Some of
Mhm.
the other lawyers, or just I might be double booked or not available.
Right.
We when it comes to the media, you really want to make sure. I mean, they're on deadlines; they got to get things out like right away. So if I'm not
Mhm.
available, we'll grab one of the other lawyers. As long as they can comment, they'll get on it.
Yeah. Gotcha. Do a large percentage of your particular cases go to trial? Or are they almost all?
Not many.
Not
I
many.
could tell
Okay.
you that. I mean, we're usually in trial every month, but
Mhm.
really only 1 or 2% of cases go all the way to trial.
Right.
So the vast majority of them settle. We might file lawsuits, but as much as we lawyers like going to trial, most of the clients don't like going to trial. They don't like being in
Right.
court. So,
Yeah, scary.
obviously, we respect their wishes. Yeah, and we don't drag anyone in trial that doesn't want to be going to trial.
Right. So when people gotta have to go to trial, is there I guess I can't ask so many of these questions. I'm just thinking like
No, go for it.
the one time that I've been in a courtroom was when um I was supporting my cousin in his custody case for his son. And I had to
Okay.
speak on his
So family
behalf.
law case, yeah.
Yeah, and I had to speak on his behalf, and I was super nervous. Obviously, I had to wait. I had to wait
Yeah.
around forever before it started, so that makes you even more nervous. And then you walk in, and here, sitting across from you is this person that just wants to just get every piece of negative information out of you and like
Yeah.
manipulate your answers in every way. And I was just like the whole time I'm sitting there thinking like he is really trying to get me to fuck up right now and say some
Yeah.
stupid shit. And
Yeah,
I was just
it's like
like,
going to a fight with like a trained assassin, right? Their
yeah.
job is to kind of come after you, make
Yeah.
you seem like a liar, make you seem like you're
Yeah.
hiding something, kind of trip you up. I mean, and that's really how actually law school trains you. So,
Mm,
kind of normal school, you got a professor, you got a teacher, they're lecturing, and then you're kind of writing things down, maybe, taking some notes, getting ready for a
hmm
test. But the way law school works is it's actually very interactive. It's really the
mm,
opposite. The professor gets up there, but he or she asks you questions. So, you'll get up there. Okay, so Brandon, tell me about the case you read last night. Was it
hmm
decided correctly? No matter what you say, they're going to take the opposite thing and really fuck you up, you know?
Right.
So it trains you to kind of think on your feet and be able to
Yeah.
argue really kind of any position, right? Because any case, you're going to have two different sides. So
Right.
what law school teaches you during that 3 years is to become an advocate. So you're not scared. You can talk, you can argue, you can defend your position, and it doesn't really matter where you are or under what circumstances. So
Yeah.
when you're talking, when you're dealing with lawyers, I mean, this is what they do all day, every day.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, and I'm sure it's
But
a
the clients
skill.
hate it, and the witnesses like you,
Yeah.
I'm sure that they hate it. You know, no one else
Yeah.
wants to be there. You know, the only one that like it are the lawyers.
But when you go though, it gets you. Does it get you excited to go because you feel like you're going to the game? You,
Yeah, for me, I
look.
love it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I do. So,
Hmm.
I don't feel that pressure. I'm sure it's like anyone else, right? You talk,
Yeah.
like to a football player or basketball player, man. I mean, they've
Right.
done it so many times, you know?
Hmm.
They're taking that free throw or, it's the fourth quarter or they're kicking a field goal. I mean, they've done it so many times that it just becomes routine. Obviously, look, you're
Yeah.
still a little nervous, but certainly, like, I remember the first time I walked into a courtroom, but when you've done it hundreds and hundreds of times, it just
Right.
becomes routine.
So the first time you went to a courtroom, did you win?
I did win. I did win,
Nice.
but I was scared shitless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Small case, but like, I mean, I'll never forget that case because my first time,
Yeah.
Whereas, and it was actually a gang case. I remember prosecuting this guy for like witness intimidation. I
Uh,
wasn't the head lawyer, but I was the second lawyer. But still, just being in there, I was scared.
yeah. Some of my favorite movies are movies with lawyers and where they go to court and they go to trial. They haven't done a good one in a
Oh,
long
nice.
time. I mean, I feel like you
I
got
know it's
like
been a while.
my cousin Vinny is just classic.
Oh, My Cousin Vinny, all-time classic. Yeah,
Oh
one of the
man,
greatest lawyer movies of all time.
right?
Yeah, and that
I
happens, man. You go to these places, these judges. You got like a racist judge,
yeah,
Yeah, that's a great case. Great movie too.
for sure, for
Yeah, Joe
sure.
Pesci, Marissa Tomei. Yeah, all-time classic.
Yeah. I mean, I just love like the discovery, not yeah, the discovery from the literal standpoint, but also just like seeing it unravel, and then they have that aha moment, like in
Yeah.
Liar Liar, like in the movie Liar Liar.
Oh yeah, liar, liar. Yeah, well, yeah. Jim Carrey when
Right,
he got her to admit her age, and
right.
then she
Too
was too
young.
young. She wasn't 18 and signed that prenup. Yeah.
Yeah, the light bulb.
Or My
Bing.
Cousin Vinny, the witness, when she admits to not having her glasses on.
Right,
So you do get those
exactly.
aha moments where you
Yeah.
really, really, um, you really destroy a witness.
So how close would you say are the movies to what really takes place in your experiences?
I mean, you have those moments, no
Yeah.
question, where a witness comes and you cross-examine them and you absolutely tear them apart. So
Yeah.
it does happen. If the witness is lying, the witness isn't prepared, you are prepared. So, it
Hmm.
does happen. I mean,
Yeah.
look, you saw, talking about Johnny Depp, the reason Johnny Depp won is because frankly, was a great witness, very likable, very vulnerable, and Amber Heard wasn't.
Right.
She lied, right? She lied about donating money to charity. She lied about tipping TMZ off, and those are the reasons why she lost the case, and she lost so badly. So
Yeah.
trial in many ways comes down to two things: likability and
Hmm.
credibility. So it really matters if a lawyer can make someone not likable or not credible.
Right. For sure. Absolutely. Cool. So let me ask, where are you? What part of where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, so I mean, my parents are Persian from
Uh
Iran,
huh.
but they met here in college. So they met in the Midwest. They moved here
Yeah.
shortly before I was born. I was born in Orange County.
Uh huh.
Then I moved to LA after high school, but my parents are still there. I live in Orange County, LA, San Diego, all throughout Southern California. So, I've been here my
You've
whole
been a
life,
West
except
Coast
for
boy
going to
your
law
whole
school
life,
on the East Coast. Yeah,
right? And then
West
you went to
Coast Soul
Harvard.
Cowboy.
That's
Yeah,
what's
how
up. Me
about you?
too.
Are you from
I'm
San
from
Diego?
San Diego. Yeah, and then I actually went to school in New
Nice.
York. I went to Fordham,
Oh, sweet.
Fordham
Oh,
University
nice. I
out
know
there.
Fordham well. How'd you end up in San Diego?
Well, I'm from San Diego,
Oh,
right?
you're from San Diego.
Right,
You went to
born and
Fordham for
raised.
school and you came back. You're like me. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, exactly. So same
how'd you
thing.
like New York for
Oh
college?
man, loved it.
Loved
I
it? Great.
absolutely loved it. Yeah, I try to go back at least once a year. It hasn't. It's been a couple years because I just
Yeah.
had two babies, so the
Oh,
traveling gets harder.
congrats.
Yeah, thank
Do you
you.
have twins or back to back?
Nah, back to back. Yeah. So we got a
You're like
2-year-old
me.
and
My
an
kids are 15 months apart.
really? Oh, cool. How old are
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, you got your hands full.
Oh
You got a
man.
2-year-old and a newborn, right?
Yep. In the 9 months. Yeah. It's a lot.
Wow,
You
this is
you
just like
know.
me. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
for sure. It is
Yeah,
chaos.
yeah, you're doing like yeah, 15, 20 diapers a day. I remember those days.
Man, it is a lot. And then, trying to run a business at the same time, it's like, ooh, yeah. Especially in the beginning
Yeah,
stages,
no, it's a
like
lot.
you gotta be there. Um,
Yeah, no,
but
you got to grind in the beginning. Yeah, you're startup.
yeah,
I know
yeah,
it
for
well.
sure. Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, that's cool. So yeah, I went to school in New York, played sports out there too. I studied marketing, and I played football, ran track, and then
Oh, nice.
almost stayed. A lot of my friends that came from other cities to that school stayed in New York and like just created their lives in New York. Um, but they went from San Diego.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, it's hard. Same thing, when I went to Harvard, a lot of the East Coast kids, they all stayed in New York,
mhm,
Boston, DC,
right,
Midwest people went to Chicago, but everyone from California, we all came back. I mean,
right,
oh man, we live in paradise. Look,
exactly.
nothing against the East Coast, but like, it's probably the coldest day of the year. And,
Yeah,
they'd be out in t shirts right now, 50
it's
degrees.
70 degrees here right now.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
It's literally crazy.
Yeah, San Diego's the best. Love it there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. So, okay, what was I gonna say? So the other portion of our show here is music, right? So we talked plenty about marketing. I've made music my whole life. I'm a rapper, singer, producer, songwriter, and I
Oh, nice.
pursued a music career for a while. Went on tour around. I went on around the states and Australia, Brazil. Produced for other artists. Did that thing for a while, but um, it's a crazy grind, and so kind of shifted into the business side of the music industry and just kind of staying behind the scenes and doing more writing and producing for people, and now we create music for other artists and for businesses and for TV shows and things like that. So we write jingles, we do custom songs for like commercials and ads, and trying to get into the movie world as well. And
Oh,
so
awesome. Yeah. That's probably a lot easier when you have young kids. I mean, the touring is
yeah,
hard. People I
oh
know that
yeah,
do it, whether they're musicians or artists or comedians or whatever. I mean, it's hard to always kind of be on the road.
absolutely, absolutely. And then like promoting yourself on a consistent basis in social media to gain fans and stuff like that. I feel like it's a little bit. I prefer at this point offering a service as opposed to trying to gain a fan just to like my music, because it's a lot longer road to the sale. You know, it happens a
No, it
lot
makes
farther
sense.
down the
That
road.
absolutely makes sense.
Yeah. So what type of music do you listen to?
Yeah. I like kind of alternative. Growing up in SoCal, pop punk. I mean, I was a
Mm-hmm.
'90s kid. A lot of these
Yeah.
bands came out of Orange County, San
Mm-hmm.
Diego, some of them. So that's kind of what I grew up on.
Blink-182 is from San Diego.
Blink 182, man, SD, of course. One of the all
Absolutely,
time greats.
for sure. So, liking that type of music, who do you listen to now? Do you listen to any new artists, or is it more the
There's
older
not a lot of
stuff
new artists that have come out in that genre.
in that genre?
It just it's a little bit of a dying breed to say the
Yeah,
least. Unfortunately, all those bands, it's just not the same anymore.
no, definitely not. What
Because
about
I mean, my kids, they're a little bit older. Everyone loves hip hop. I
right?
mean, it's just all kind of transitioned away.
For sure. What about Machine Gun Kelly? He's all pop punk now.
Dude, I saw him on Saturday.
Did you?
Believe it or not, yeah,
How was
yeah.
it?
I was at Chappelle's show. He was literally like right next to me with Megan Fox. Yeah.
He wasn't performing. He was just there watching the
No, no, no.
show.
He was like a guest at the show.
Oh
Yeah, yeah.
wow.
Chappelle was here. Yeah, it was an amazing. Chappelle and Chris Rock were
Oh
touring.
man,
Came
I
to
know.
LA, so I went to see him. No, Machine Gun Kelly. I mean, came to watch him. It wasn't performing.
He was just sitting right there with
Yeah, but
Megan
like, yeah,
Fox.
like my daughters. Yeah, I mean, they love Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah, I mean, she's
Yeah.
in like kind of elementary school, middle school kids.
Okay. So that
Yeah,
he's hitting
it's a
that
little too
demographic.
pop for me. I mean, I like pop
Okay.
punk, but not that pop.
Not that pop. A little more grunge.
Yeah.
for sure.
A little
Yeah, I
more
missed.
grunge. I mean, I like
Yeah.
classic rock too. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, I love like I mean, I grew up in like GNR, even going back like Led Zeppelin. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I love all that.
for sure.
I'm old, man. You know, I'm one of those people like you might see. I'm gonna you know, you just gotta listen to the oldies. But I mean, I love you know, I mean, it could be Pink Floyd, anything. You know,
Hmm.
classic rock, grunge. You
Absolutely.
know, the '90s alternative. Yeah,
Yeah, '90s was a golden era, man.
yeah.
We actually we actually made a song for a client. It was like they're a website, a web development company, and we made a jingle for them that was and this is the first time we got really nervous. He said he wanted a Van Halen style song.
No way.
Yeah, and I was like, "All right." I was like, I'm really confident though. I'm like, I can make anything. I don't care what it is." And I told my producers and they're like, "Oh no. No, 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 no." They're like, because they're like purists, you know, they're purists. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, there's no way we could make event like this. Yeah, you don't understand, Brandon. Like, this is like some of the greatest music ever made. Like, and I'm like, listen, man, it's just got to sound kind of like it. It doesn't have to. We're not entering a Van
Yeah.
Halen contest.
Yeah.
but but we nailed it though. It came out really good.
Oh,
It
that's
came out
cool. I
really
gotta check it
good.
out.
Yeah, yeah. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. But yeah, we
Yeah.
got all the guitar shreds in there and stuff, and it works really well for them too. They get a lot of clients from it, so it's cool. It's always
Oh,
fun
nice,
when
nice.
when
No,
it works
I'm
out
sure it's
well.
hard. You know.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, we make all. I mean, I
I'm gonna
grew
ask
up
you to do
like
like a '80s alternative, like a Depeche Mode, like a New Order type song. You know.
yeah. I'm sure there's some stuff I might not be able to pull off, but
Yeah.
you know,
But no, I mean, I respect the talent. That is not easy at all to be a musician.
yeah, man. Well, I've been doing. I guess I've been doing it for like 15 plus years now too. So like 15 plus years. We probably got
Oh,
like
nice.
we probably got close to like 50 to 60 years together and my on my team. You know, cumulative years. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, that's a solid amount of
Yeah,
experience for
that's a
sure.
lot.
you know, um, so for you guys, what is your? Let me see what time it is here. Okay, um, what's 2023 going to be about for you guys? You guys have any like new goals or ventures or that you're
Yeah,
trying to accomplish?
so we're really trying to like obviously 2020 and 2021 most of it. I mean, that was a pretty washed. Courts were closed, like were
Yeah.
shut down. So really kind of got back into it. End of 2021, 2022. You know, we really was kind of like a restart.
Mm,
People either weren't going to work, they weren't driving. Nothing was happening. Courts were just shut down.
yeah.
So now we're kind of back in the swing of things. We really, really want to kind of hit it hard in 2023. I would say it's like the first like full year. Everything's back to normal, right?
Mm,
No
mm,
one's thinking about COVID anymore,
right.
and we really want to kind of push the envelope. We're going to expand into some different states. We're first going to Nevada, maybe Arizona, Washington, kind of
Hmm.
spread our practice out a little. Because law is very specific. You can only kind of practice in the state that you're licensed. So
Right.
we're going to start going to other states, really do some more, whether it's like a traditional media, social, kind of expand our team. I love the stuff that we've done, but I just really kind of want to take it to that next level. So hopefully,
Hmm.
when people, whatever, as they fire up the TV, they go on their iPad, I mean,
Right.
we're kind of there, we're everywhere. So that's the
Yeah.
plan,
Absolutely.
and in multiple
So
states.
there you go. So we're looking to grow and expand. Very cool. I like that. That's dope. And so so when you do that
Yeah.
in another state, obviously they have to be licensed in that state. So do you reach out to attorneys in that state and say and you essentially just start hiring there and open offices?
Yeah, we do. Or in my case too, I'm like, if we're gonna go another state, I also want to be in that other state. So I'm taking the Nevada bar. Then I'm gonna
Yeah.
be taking the bar in other states. So look, even after 20 years, I gotta take the bar exam again.
So
So
what do you and you're gonna have to hit the books? Is it like taking your written driver's test again? Like you have to study?
yeah. Except imagine it's a 3-day
Oh my
full day
god!
driver's test, man. So hopefully it's like riding a bike. Like I said, it's
Right,
been more than 20 years since I studied for the bar. I'm kind of
right.
back then. There was no like online lectures or anything. I had to go in physically. The professor would lecture us. Now I'm kind of watching these online videos.
Yeah,
And again, hopefully it's all coming back to me. But
yeah.
I'm going to be doing this in early next year.
Wow. Good luck with that, man. That's gonna be cool
Thanks, man.
though. Yeah, that's gonna be cool to see that growth. And um yeah, I mean, getting on TV obviously is like, have you had an actual TV commercial? I know you're on TV, but like a
Yeah,
TV,
yeah,
like
we
an
do TV
ad.
commercials. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've done a bunch of TV commercials. TV's not like our primary form of
Right.
advertising, but we'll do TV and radio, especially if it's kind of digital, if it's kind of connected like a Spotify or Hulu or something that's kind of connected to the other digital marketing we
Got it.
do. We'll do TV, we'll do radio. It's not our bread and butter. We're not like doing a lot of cable TV or anything like that, but we do TV
Got you.
commercials as well.
Got you. So have you guys done a jingle before?
Yeah, we have.
Oh,
Yeah, we
nice.
have a jingle. Um, it's been years, but Get the Most with West Coast. We
Hey.
recorded it. We had an artist, musician. I gotta confess, Brandon, I don't know who did it.
Yeah.
My marketing team kind of took care of that, but
Yeah.
yeah, we got all of that,
That's
and
cool.
we use it,
I wanna hear
trademarked
it.
it, and everything. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Awesome, man. Well, hey, Nima, I really appreciate your time. That was a great talk. I gotta come visit you guys when I'm up in LA. I go up there every once in a
Yeah,
while.
hit us up, man. When you're we're right by crypto. I would love to see you. Thanks so
Yes.
much for having me on the podcast, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you as
Have a great
well.
holiday, and
You
then hopefully I'll
too.
see you in the new year.
Okay, sounds great.
Take
And
care.
I'll send you some. I'll send you clips of this, so you
Awesome.
guys can, if you want to repurpose the content and stuff. So
Yeah, we'll use it. We'll post it. We'll tag you, man. Thanks so
for
much.
sure. All right, talk soon.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Take care.
Bye
Bye
bye.
now.